Hey, welcome to episode 34. This episode is sponsored by Maniacal Mead. They're here in Ypsi and they make mead, and mead is alcohol made of honey. Woo-hoo. Love that. It's very good. And Jeff brought over 3 bottles for me to use. This one, the Dainty Gingers, when I keep remember all day.
I dated a guy.
Rap Battle. And this one of my favorites, going in the glaze, Apple Apocalypse.
Okay.
Just for the occasion.
The Dainty Ginger one makes me laugh.
We are going to go sort of the Thai flavor style for the glaze, and we're going to smoke the wings first. If you don't have a smoker, you can roast them low and slow in your oven. I did this for the last round of wings. They were delicious. I'm smoking them because I like the smoky flavor, and it's going to do my low and slow rendering outside in the smoker instead of in my oven. I'm going to do one strange thing out of order. I'm going to smoke them first and then marinate them, and then I make the glaze, and then we're going to fire them off in the oven.
Why do you smoke first?
I smoke them first because the smoking is rendering out all of the extra fat in all of the skin.
Okay.
Fat is flavor. Skin is definitely flavor when it comes to chicken, but the excess fat between the skin and the chicken, we don't really want. That's super soggy wings. That's the source of soggy wings.
Interesting.
So we want them to be juicy, we want them to be delicious, but we want them to be crispy, and we want them to have that fat, but not all of it.
Okay.
And I found out that smoking them for a couple of hours at 225 out in the smoker renders that out, cooks them all the way through. And if you do get a chance to deep fry them, they crisp up much faster. You don't have to leave them in the fryer until they're thoroughly cooked all the way to the knuckle bone, because they already did that in the smoker. They went into the fryer cooked. So it was a really nice shortcut, especially in a restaurant. Anyway, enough about that. We're gonna head outside to the smoker and the snowstorm and get it going.
All right, we're gonna meet you out there.
See you out there.
All right, we're here. It's freaking snowing,
Yeah.
and it's almost May.
So, here I'm in my springtime barbecue attire.
What does your hat say? Your hat
It's
says
perfectly
grumpy.
pleasant.
Your hat says grumpy. I'm looking at Ruby too. This is what you guys don't know
I'm
that
also
we deal with.
Yeah, this is what I have to deal with all day. I'm also revealing the Michigan spring line. And if you're asking, I can't wait to see the swimwear. This is the swimwear.
Day wear, evening wear.
Okay, I started my briquettes. I dumped them into the firebox. I only have applewood chunks right now, not the logs, so I have to go with these. When I'm going with these, they go up faster, so I'm using half dry, half wet.
I'm gonna imagine people with an Oklahoma smoker are gonna understand what you just said.
Yes.
Dashi's interested.
She's a moron.
The dogs haven't figured out that hot things live in there.
They like hot coals. I don't get it.
So Chef, I'm just gonna alert you, you need to kind of like speak up and talk to the camera.
Okay. We're gonna let that fire to get going before I throw the chicken in. I don't want to see the thick, opaque white smoke. We want to get past that to the really good, more delicious smoke, the blue smoke, and then a thinner smoke.
Okay.
So we can pause. Okay, so our fire is ready to go. I have a much thinner smoke and less of it coming from the smoker. I have the fire door closed now with the vent wide open. My temperature is at 200 degrees. I'm going to load it up. It's going to drop a little bit. I'm going to put another couple pieces of wood on there, and it'll bump that temperature back up.
Oh my gosh. So one of our neighbor kids, who's, I think he's 3 or 4 years old, was driving past
Yeah, he's 3.
in the back of his parents' car, smelled the brisket that you were making, and kind of did a deep breath and was like, that smells good. So this is how we torture our neighbors.
Yeah, that was funny. All right, get in there, guys. Skin side up.
I'm gonna come in close and we're gonna take a look at what you're doing. Even though your jacket's nice. I would like to see
You
this.
want them skin side up. we don't want the skin to stick to the smoker and have it tear off. We want that to stay like that. We have, see flames?
Yeah.
You don't want to cook with embers. You want, in Texas, barbecue is made with flames. So we always want to see wood with flames. I put in 1 piece of wet already. I'm gonna put another piece of wet wood in there. And what that does is, the dry wood is on fire right now, and the wet wood needs to dry up and dry up and dry up. And by the time this flame goes down, this will be dry enough and will start to ignite and have flame. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping a steadier fire going through the afternoon, through the next 2 hours, than I would if I just put in dry wood, wait for it to burn up, and then put in more dry wood. You're gonna get bigger temperature swings.
Great.
By going dry with a couple pieces of wet, dry, then it stays out, you have flame the whole time and the temperature is steadier. So
Awesome.
I'm gonna be out here tending to this. See you guys in 2 hours. Okay, we're back. Got my summer barbecue attire on.
Michigan's not for the faint of heart.
The wings are done with the smoking process. I don't have any more flames. Burned up my last, I did 2 fires. 2, see? I did this many. 2 rounds of coal, and then I kept nursing it with the hardwood pieces on top. That's pretty much died down. It stayed between 200 and 225 the whole time, juggling the dry and wet wood pieces. It's only about 35 degrees outside right now, you know, because Michigan, April 22nd.
Those.
Aren't they beautiful?
They are very beautiful.
Now look, see the skin is all nice and tight? We slow cooked all of that extra fat out from underneath. These wings are now cooked all the way through, so that if we were to fry them, like when I fried them in a restaurant or put them in a deep fryer, they only have to go for a minute till they heat through and that skin gets super crispy. So what we're gonna do is take them off the grill and put them in some marinade before I broil them a little bit later.
Okay.
Off camera, I put in the potatoes because I forgot to put them in earlier. Every time I smoke something, we love having smoked potatoes at the ready. And so I was like, ooh, grab some potatoes. And so to not waste the fire, I threw 6 potatoes in, but they're for tomorrow's dinner,
Awesome.
not today.
Well, we'll come back after you get those off the grill and see you in a minute.
We'll see you inside. Okay, we are back. We're indoors, which makes me happy.
It is freaking freezing
Yeah,
out.
it's something special out there, Michigan. I said to put these in a marinade, and I did. But I only have enough ingredients for an apocalypse marinade, which is not a full marinade, so I couldn't even soak them all. Didn't have enough pineapple juice to do it. It was pineapple juice, a little bit of soy sauce, and fish sauce.
Are you going to put all that out there?
Yep, put that all on in the recipe. If you don't have enough to make, a lot of the same things are in the glaze. If you don't have enough to make the marinade and the glaze, just skip the marinade altogether, go right onto the glaze, because that's really the moneymaker when it comes to flavor. I'm going to take these out of the pan, because I want to pour the marinade into here. Since these were cooked already, I can reduce that marinade down and boil it and use it in the glaze.
And I'm just going to say that the smell associated with this, so I think it's the wings came out of the smoker. There's probably a little bit of the marinade smell going on, but dang, kids, this
People
smells,
think they don't like fish sauce. I'm telling you,
this smells amazing.
it's magic.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. One of the things I like about the fish sauce and that kind of pineapple, it's that tangy sweet combination that is, I think it's a winner.
Oh, this is an incredible glaze that we're gonna make. They're like Thai Caribbean wings.
So everybody can see that glaze just was like a little tiny wee bit.
Barely. I mean, I was spent my time with the tongs, just turning them over, giving them each a little bit of time in the bath.
And how long did you leave them in that marinade?
Oh, probably 45 minutes total.
Okay. And how many times did you flip them in that marinade?
Oh, I've probably got 3 times around each one.
Okay.
In a
So
perfect
really
world-
not that long. It was on the counter.
Yeah, in a perfect world, I would have had more liquid for the marinade. We're done with this pan now.
But hey, needs must.
The
You do
also
whatever in there.
secret Caribbean ingredient. You can't call them banana wings if there's no banana in it. There's banana in the glaze. I know, it's weird. And I mean a ripe banana. The ugly brown ones, those are ripe bananas. If it's bright, shiny yellow, it's not ready yet. It's gonna make a terrible glaze. Don't do it. We need the one where all the sugars are starting to break down and do its mushy banana thing.
If somebody doesn't have a really ripe banana, is there any alternative?
You can skip it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just skip it.
Or if your banana's not ripe enough, can you just put it in a paper
You
bag?
put it in a brown paper bag for a night or two until it gets to be spotty and soft and mushy until your kid goes, oh, I don't want to eat it. And then that's how you know the banana's ripe enough.
If you wanted to do it within an hour, what happens if you just put the banana in the oven?
I don't know, because you're talking about a starch element.
Okay.
It's going to make a cloudy glaze.
Okay.
That's what did the last time I tried to use a banana before it's time.
Okay.
And that's where I learned that makes a funny looking glaze. And it did.
All right.
So, mushy banana. Okay, Maniacal Meadery sponsored this episode and donated 3 bottles to the cause. This one being called Dainty Ginger, and it is a drier, fresh ginger flavor with a nice spike of heat to it. Apple Apocalypse is it's the sweetest of the 3. You can really get the maple syrup coming through. This one was like, I am perfect for your wing glaze. It's just saying as soon as it came out of the bottle, like, this one's going in the glaze. This one was a little bit of the marinade too. I did drizzle it over because I do want that ginger in there. And this one is the one called Rap Battle. That's honey, apple, black currant, blueberry, black raspberry, and cherry wine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 out of 6 of these things said, I am delicious on beef. And so I'm going to hold this bottle, and Maniacal Meadery is going to get a second episode for their money because we're going to do a really nice beef dish and make a sauce with this particular one. Because the black currant, blueberry, black raspberry, and cherry wines all scream, I am delicious with beef.
So I just have a couple questions.
Okay.
So we like to promote local, and that's why we have Maniacal Meadery.
Yes,
Did I say that name right?
Maniacal Meadery, yep.
Yep, Maniacal Meadery. So I have 2 questions for our national as well as international
later.
viewers. I saw that, but I'm ignoring it. So
It
for
may
our
or may not be on the
national
windowsill.
as well
I
as
don't know.
international viewers, does Maniacal Meadery ship?
Ooh, good question.
We'll find that out because I think we don't know the answer to it. And then the second question is there an alternative to this particular kind of like mead profile if you're cooking at home?
Yes. So I made this glaze before without these things, and it was still really delicious. It's going to be made more delicious by adding them to it. I'll put the glaze recipe on there without the mead, and then I will put the additions of the mead in alongside it.
All right.
Okay.
So you can make it without the mead or with the mead, or if you have like another version of mead that somewhat is in the same flavor profile.
Yeah, it'd be like a sweet wine, like a Riesling. Yeah.
All right. So we'll put tags to everything in there, and hopefully Maniacal Meadery ships.
In the marinade that became our glaze was a tiny can of pineapple juice, some light soy sauce, and then about a tablespoon of my lifetime supply of fish sauce.
Not after we get done with being shut-ins.
This keeps up, man.
Already we're a third of the way down with that bottle.
So what I'm going to do is dribble in some jalapeno juice from a jar of jalapenos. That's going to be about a tablespoon.
Is there an alternative to that if you don't have jalapenos?
There's all kinds of spices. So there's sriracha that you could use. There's the chili garlic sauce, nak cham, that we can put in there. Did I call that right? I might have given it a wrong sauce name. The chili garlic sauce. For the jalapenos, another pepper juice from a pepper that you like.
Okay.
Or if it's too spicy, skip it.
Okay. It's not something I usually have in my kitchen, so thus the question. Because I'm telling you, the way these wings are smelling, I'm like thinking about getting one of those Oklahoma Joe smokers.
Heaping teaspoon of cumin. The last time I did this, I did a sriracha syrup, which is sugar and water in equal parts. I boiled it, made it like a syrup, and then added sriracha to it. Since this is a mead episode and I have honey, I have a honey, cilantro, lime mixture here that I took home from the restaurant. It's about 1.5 cups of honey and lime and cilantro. So I'm going to use about half of it. Oh, I used a little more than half. That's going to give us a nice honey glaze.
Are you doing that so you can drink it after you pour it in there?
I already sampled it. No, I want to actually see. It's a great color. God, that maple really comes through.
Huh.
I want the majority of the sauce to taste like this particular mead, and I want some of that hot ginger to come through here. So that is about 8 ounces, 10 ounces going in. We turn on the heat and get this rolling. Then only about 1 ounce or 2 of the ginger. Oh, it smells so good. I minced up the last little nubbin of my fresh ginger, and that made about a tablespoon. Boop, tablespoon. That's going in. Part of my Tippins mystery basket was a jar of chopped garlic. Never had one of these in my fridge before. So I'm gonna do like a half teaspoon of that in there.
Delicious.
Look, Dom, I used it.
We know you're watching, Dom.
Yes. Now our chili garlic. I do want about a tablespoon of that, which is 3 teaspoons.
So I have a bottle of that in my refrigerator, and it is one of the most versatile sauces that I put in such weird places.
Yeah, I was not shy about putting that
Yeah,
in there.
I love it. It's got one of those kind of like not, it's like it finishes hot.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily start hot. It creeps up on you.
I know that I'm gonna want this glaze in my refrigerator for a while, so I'm gonna pour the rest of this honey in here because this honey is not getting used up.
Because what else would you glaze?
Everything.
Define everything.
Chicken wings, wings of chicken, and chicken wings.
And maybe a whole chicken if you were like cooking a whole chicken.
Yeah. All of this.
That might even be a flavor agent for a soup.
Yes.
I'm just making stuff up like I work here, but
And
I
then
actually don't know what I'm doing.
Our weirdo ingredient, the mashed banana.
And are you gonna mash it into that?
I am. I have this little masher. It's like a potato masher, but it's meant for
Aw.
garlic. Isn't it adorable? You're
That's
so good at these little projects.
That's a dainty ginger masher for
Isn't
a
it?
dainty ginger.
supposed to be for garlic. Or yeah, it's supposed to be roasted garlic.
Oh, it's for roasted garlic, but like it's
What
so
a unitasker.
cute.
Who has that much roasted
I feel like
garlic
that
on?
should be like in a dollhouse or something.
So I'm gonna cook this down. I'm gonna reduce it by at least 1/3, and this banana's gonna be completely mushy and gone. And we will come back and TV magic, it'll be almost ready to use.
All right. I
See you
might
in a little
even
bit.
try some fanciness. Maybe we'll try this. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
All right, we are ready. I'm gonna glaze these bad boys up. I'm not gonna do all of them right now because these are for our dinner and it's a little bit early. So I'm just gonna do 4 of them.
Sure.
Do 4 to show you how it's gonna go.
Little appetizer wings. So if you were making this ahead of time, let's say for a party or something, you'd just keep the glaze separate from the wings, and then before you're ready to serve, then cook them then.
Right.
So how are you preheating your oven?
I put it on broil.
Okay. So you got the broil session on, and you told me something really interesting about why you babysat the pan. so
Because
closely.
my sugar in here that was making the syrup out of was honey. And honey over boils in a pot really hard and fast. You really have to be within a couple of feet of it to turn the heat off or get it off the heat because it makes a foam and goes straight over the sides in an instant. And it goes from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds flat. And it'll make a huge mess on your stovetop. So you don't want to walk away from it. It's okay to have it boil, but you want to have a controlled boil because even then, like 2 or 3 times, it started to build up on me a little too, got ahead of me, didn't overboil, but if I had walked away, it certainly would have.
So I saw what you did to kind of control that as you stirred it a little bit. Occasionally
Yep.
you'd lift it up off the
You could blow on the top too, and the breath is a lot cooler, and it will pop all the bubbles on the top and make that go down. So that'll buy you a few seconds too.
Okay.
We're gonna put these under the broiler. When I put them on the smoker, I put them skin side up. The first time we broil these to get this glaze caramelized on the bottom, I want to put them bottom side up, so the skin side is down. Okay, and we're
Are you
gonna
gonna flip them midway through?
Yep.
All right. How long will they be under the broiler?
Just maybe 90 seconds tops, because it's broil on high.
Do you have any interesting story to tell me in 90 seconds?
Probably not. Do I have interesting stories? I'm not interesting. Ah! Thanks for putting me on the spot, Patricia.
I'm sorry. I just,
See what happens when she does like, ooh, tell us something interesting.
Show us Dashi, because Dashi's always interesting to the people.
Dashi's interesting. It'll be interesting. Come here. She's like, I fell for this 3 times today.
I just moved the treat jar over closer to you. Oh, there's
She's
Dashi.
like, hey, other people here. Do you
One
hear
more
the
with
crumbs?
Dashi.
Come here. Come sit.
Oh, man.
Dog on a string. Dog on a string.
Uh-oh. I hear the house hippo.
Get a little. Oh,
Here comes the hippo.
can't leave her out of it.
The hippo needs a treat, too.
I'll
Right.
come to you. Don't worry.
This interlude
Don't get off the
was
ground.
brought to you by, from many episodes ago, we made dog treats, and that's what the little cookies are.
I
So-
should have thought of where I was gonna put this.
Dogs
That would've
eat
been
too.
Better.
Oh, well.
Thank you for not being hot.
Making good
Thank you
decisions.
for being whatever. Okay.
So now you flip them over.
Flip them over. Grabbing a tablespoon.
Those look really good. I'm going to come in for a little close-up. Oh, so when you flip them over, you
Give them a little.
redistribute.
Yeah.
And like that glaze is just a little chunky from all the things in the hot sauce.
Uh-huh.
So, looks great.
Now
Okay.
I'm leaving them on the skin side a bit longer because I want that skin to be tight and crispy, and I want that glaze to be
Right.
stuck on that nice sticky.
We'll be back in 90 seconds.
See you in a minute.
We're back. Things happened in those
Yeah.
90 seconds. I'm going to come in close because that looks...
The parchment paper is gonna burn, but that is exactly what I wanted. I want that glaze to be bubbling. This is molten hot. This is super dangerous. You don't want anyone to touch that glaze until it cools off. But wow, that we just made sticky wings.
And it smells really amazing.
Yeah, you want a little bit of that burnt sugar flavor on there. Most of all, that skin tightened up, and when these cool off to something that a human can consume, freaking amazing.
All right.
Yes, we're gonna give them like 2 minutes to cool off. See you in 2. Okay, we're back, and these are finally done. You can almost touch them. Only burning myself a little. It'll be worth it.
I just want to see what that looks like on the inside. Oh my
Time
gosh.
to tuck in on those ribs.
You know, the smoker makes a huge difference.
That red is from the smoke. This is totally done all the way through. Oh my God,
Is it pretty good?
that
Right.
glaze is amazing. Skin is nice and crisp. Chicken is perfect. Man, oh man,
All right.
these are amazing.
I'm going to button this up so I can be alone with these things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything to say before?
Tomorrow we're making something else. It involves food.
Has your brain processing just gone away?
I don't know. Something about having to do a show tomorrow. I don't know.
All right, say goodbye, Gracie.
Bye.